What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? Phil Rogacki here with the Two Tree Guy Podcast, all the way from North Carolina. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
And we got a special guest on here today at the Arbor Fest, Miss Tracy Klein. Tracy,
Hey,
you
guys.
from North Carolina?
No, I am not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Lexington, Kentucky.
Lexington, Kentucky. Well, this is, usually we have two tree guys, which is Jared and myself and a guest on it, but it'll be one tree guy and one tree gal. You consider yourself a tree gal?
I think I could be a tree gal, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the right words. Tree gal, tree guy.
I think we're
guess
going to
so.
roll with it.
Gotcha. I like that. But, this show and kind of what we're bringing to you guys today and listening wherever you guys are at in the world is we're here to hear your story, to hear your story, hear about the product you have here. You just sent me a pair. I haven't got to really use them yet, but I walked around the office for a little bit. And when I get back, I'm going to be putting the boots on and putting them to work. That's for sure for that. So how'd you get into this industry?
Well, I started in this industry after I left law enforcement in 1995. I went into the police and fire side of the business, and I've remained there over my entire career. And then I came to work for Hikes, who I currently work for and have been for about 13 years now.
What'd you do in the law enforcement?
I was a police recruit.
Police recruit.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? I mean, how?
Well, I was finishing up my master's in criminal behavior, and I wanted to go into law enforcement.
Okay.
But sometimes life takes turns, and you just, you always have these plans in your mind, but it always goes a different direction.
But you recruited for people to get into law enforcement.
No,
correct?
I was the recruit.
Oh, you were the recruit.
I was a police
You were
recruit.
recruited. Gotcha. I thought you were saying that you were the. I'm like, oh, interesting.
No. I'm the one out there.
Gotcha. So what made you get out of that industry?
That's a whole other story. Let's just say that I got into the public safety side of the supplying for it. It was a perfect match for me to be able to, sell equipment.
Gotcha.
And at that time, it was just a great match. And the biggest supplier of law enforcement equipment just happened to be in the town where I was at.
Yeah.
And I went there to turn in my gear when I left, and they were like, you'd be a perfect fit, to sell police equipment. I was like, no, I want to be a cop. I want to be a federal agent. I don't want to do sales.
Really?
28 years later.
You're in sales.
I'm in sales.
You're in sales.
So life doesn't always go as you plan.
It doesn't, but how, like the other gentleman that was just on the show chatting with me, it was about, he said, you know what? Things don't go as planned.
That's
and
right.
His car broke down. He goes, I look at the positive things in life. I had the opportunity to spend a week with a friend that I normally never gets to hang out with.
Yeah.
I was at the right place at the time of my life. So,
Absolutely.
the saying, lemons make lemonade. And when you're there, you made the best of it. And now look where you're at, in your career from that. So you got out of law enforcement. And how'd you get with Hikes?
I was looking for a change, and it was about 2009. And I kept seeing this company, Hikes, when I would visit trade shows in the public safety industry. And I thought, who the hell are these guys, Am I allowed to say that on here?
You can say whatever you want.
So
there's no rules on this podcast.
I
and
got
if
you.
You must not have listened to too many of them because you would have known that.
Well, okay. So I was like, who are these guys? I keep seeing them. It was very intriguing. They were a German manufacturer, and I like really nice high-end things. And I had a couple of job offers on the table, and one of them was from Hikes. And I thought, what the hell? I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it, and I've been working for them ever since.
Really?
Yeah, fantastic company.
And now, how long have you been working with them?
13 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Is this your forever home?
Yeah, it is definitely my forever home.
I mean, did you ever think of selling what you sell and doing what you do? You would be in this type of industry?
I think I knew when I went into the selling side versus being in law enforcement, for example, it just drew me in. It was like a
Yeah.
natural, people are like, you really should do sales. You really should do sales. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not a
But
salesperson.
why'd they say that? What was it about you where they were like, you should do sales?
Well, I'm not real salesy. I'm more of a person that likes to help people.
Okay.
And for me, it was like taking something like, hey, what's your issue? What's going on? I may be able to help. So
Hmm.
I take more of an approach of I want to assist you in maybe choosing the right thing, or I'll ask you what your application is.
Hmm.
I don't just try to sell you a widget, like, here you
Yeah.
go. You should buy this just because you should.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to know what their needs are, what they're facing, and then try to do an analysis and then make a recommendation.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now tell me about the company. Tell me,
Oh,
because
wow.
let me, from the first time Johnny introduced me to Zach,
Oh, yeah.
uh, you know, I've been in this industry for 12 years.
Yeah.
I've never heard of you guys. Now, I'm not using products every single day, and I'm not out there in the field every day, so it's understandable, on this kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I've never heard about your guys' boots and what you had to offer. But then once I talked to a few people, oh yeah, I got a pair. Oh, I got a pair. I was surprised. I'm like, how did I not ever notice this ever before? So, and then I got on the phone and started chatting with them, and then I researched and read a little bit more. I'm like, okay, okay. And of course, Jared knew all about them and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But myself, I'm not that guy.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Hikes it's very interesting. We have like this cult following of people that like our product. So if you know, you know.
Hmm.
And if you don't, your friends usually grab you in and you become part of our family.
Gotcha.
We are a high end German manufacturer, and we're very unique in the fact that we still do it old school. Like, we make our product from start to finish, while many other footwear manufacturers, what you're going to find and what you don't realize is that they actually rent a space out in another country
Yeah.
to certain areas,
Yeah.
and they're actually put on production lines and made third party. Whereas Hikes, we do everything ourselves, from capturing the supplies to designing. We have engineers. We consult with doctors. I mean, we everything from
Okay.
orthopedic fit to design, fit and feel.
Now, when you say, high quality, what makes it a high quality boot?
Yeah.
And does one shoemaker, bootmaker, what do you call them? What's someone that makes a boot? What's the name? Isn't it?
Are you
What's the
talking
name
about
of
a
the
cobbler?
Is it a cobbler? I mean, a cobbler. You guys have a
That's
bunch of
old school.
cobblers.
Yes.
You guys said you guys are old school. You guys go back to the day. Now, does one person make that boot from start to finish and assemble it?
It's a very good question. Our boots sometimes, first of all, the uppers are handmade. So all of this part is handmade still.
What do you mean by handmade in the sense? Like somebody's hand sewn it,
Yes, absolutely.
cut it out?
Yes.
Okay.
But this boot may end up touching 25 different stations before it's finished, from start to finish, from raw material to the middle to, they're lasting it and so on and so
Gotcha.
forth, which is an entirely other story. But it's from start to finish, there's a lot of things that make it high quality.
Yeah.
First example, bullhide leather. Most people don't think about leather. You hear top grain, you hear split hide, whatever. We use bullhide leather. No one else in any footwear industry worldwide uses that but Hikes. And what makes that unique,
So no one in any other industry use it?
not for footwear.
Really? Why is that? And why did you guys choose that? Why are they not using it?
Well, it's cheaper to manufacture if you buy cowhides from a third world country. I mean, let's just be real.
Now, why bullhide over cowhide?
It's a very good question. So bullhides, they don't get pregnant. So they hold their shape and they're a little tougher. So for our type of industry, for forestry, for wildland, for any type of firefighting, anything like that, our
Mhm.
boots are going to be more rugged. Think about a female like a cow.
Okay.
They get pregnant, they expand and contract. It makes the leather weak in spots, so it gets flimsy.
Hmm.
You do not want flimsy boots if you're climbing a tree. You need good ankle support and rigidity, the same as you would with the fire service.
So where do you guys get your bull hides from? I mean,
Certain
you
countries
got
in Europe,
one bull and you got 1,000 cows or
Yeah.
100 cows or what? I don't even know what the ratio is, but how do you get the bull hide?
Okay, so we source all of our bull hides in Europe as well.
Okay.
Because we are a company that takes into account anything that has child labor. We do not do anything with that.
Gotcha.
So there's other countries, for example, if you see videos, you can jump online and you can see these leather tanneries. These kids are wading up to their knees in chemicals with these hides. We don't do any of that.
Gotcha. Now, do you guys have pictures of your factory and stuff online? Or
Yeah, actually,
videos of it.
You can check out Hikes has their own YouTube channel. We have it's a really cool video. It's a little bit outdated. We're working on a new one.
Yeah.
But it'll give you an idea of like how it's made.
Yeah.
You know, so we have our own video and it'll show you the operations between Germany and Croatia.
You guys make it in Croatia?
Yes, we have 2 manufacturing facilities.
I used to live in Croatia.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. We lived in Zagreb.
Did you really?
Yeah, back in the day.
I've been to Croatia.
Yeah, I love Croatia. I'm going to go back. I stayed
Great
in Pula, Zagreb, Split. I never went to Dubrovnik.
I haven't been to Dubrovnik.
But it was a great time of my life, and it's the most beautiful country. It's
well, then
awesome.
you have to come. We have to make
man.
a visit.
Now, do you have customers and clients that come and visit the factory and spend time out there and actually get to see the boot being made?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we have something called Hikes World. If you go to Meinberg, Germany, which is our mother headquarters, it's about 30 minutes outside of Munich. And I haven't even been to it yet, but I will hopefully see it in June when I go back to Europe.
Gotcha.
You can go and experience everything from start to finish, like a history of the company and how things are made. And we would definitely invite you to come. We've had customers that are in Europe and just want to check out everything. We roll out the red carpet.
Bob, we need to go to Germany and do a podcast, or Croatia. We'll do a podcast out there with them.
Yeah, we could do Croatia. We could do it. I mean, come on. We need to do it close to Oktoberfest, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm just saying, if you need an ambassador to take you, I can do that.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. So tell me more about, bull hide, that's something that actually surprised me. I never even heard of that before. And that's pretty interesting with the bull hide and stuff, because now with bulls, you're not putting them down just for the leather. Are they serving a purpose? And
of course.
So how do you guys get your bulls and how do they rotate? I mean, I'm sure, I might be asking questions you might not know, but
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I can BS you now and tell you.
How old are these bulls? And are old bulls better than young bulls? I mean, some people might say yes.
Well, I think this is going into a loaded bull, if you want to tell the truth. So what I
these grays and becoming an old bull.
He's an old bull, and I'm like an old heifer. You know the difference between a heifer and a cow, right?
No, I don't know that.
A cow has had a baby, and a heifer has never had a cow. So I'm a heifer.
A heifer never had a cow. I like it. I learned something new.
Yes,
I learned
there
a bunch
you go.
of new stuff.
I'm a country girl.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, as far as choosing bull hides, I mean, we choose the same ones that go into like the seats of Mercedes and BMW. So they are very high quality.
Yeah.
So there's not that many.
Okay.
And only from certain countries. We have our own people in-house in Germany that actually go out and test these hides to like millimeter thickness. They check everything. We check for lines and marks and scars. I mean, it's a pretty astringent task. Okay. But with us being that high end of a company, you know, everything has to go out perfectly.
Because would you say your boots are one of the more costly boot out there on the market?
Well, yeah.
Or so more of the high end than
we are high end boots, so we're more of a Mercedes, BMW.
Now, what's the longevity between your boot compared to somebody else that's going to be wearing it? So somebody's putting in the money and going, I'm using these boots every single freaking day. I usually change them out every year. Is there something where you can monetize and go, the average boot's 12 months, our boot's 18 months. So technically per month, you're only spending $10 per month, or $100 or $50 per month, rather than whatever it may come up to.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because there are people that you have to tell them that. So for example, our boots, I will tell you that our logging boots, I have guys getting upwards of 2 years out of them.
Okay.
When
how much is the logging
others, about $400 a pair.
Okay. Gotcha.
Roughly.
Gotcha.
But what I find is that the other brands, and this is just the people telling me, I'm
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, my other boots are like 2 to 6 months old. They're not even getting that much out of
So it's
it.
about $15 a month they're paying for these logger boots.
Yeah.
And the other one you said last how long?
Maybe anywhere from 2 to 6 months.
2 to 6 months. And how much do would they say they
They
cost?
probably maybe a little less than ours, maybe by $50 to $100 less in some instances.
Okay, so 306 months, you're paying $50 a month opposed to $15 a month. So, I look at that kind of stuff because that stuff is, and I didn't even know you guys existed. So, and I've never even worn a pair of your boots besides in the office. But
Uh-huh.
that stuff makes a difference to me, especially when you're buying value and you can monetize it and how much does it cost me per month and if it's
Right.
going to last me 2 years. I put that boot to a test. Now, let me ask you this on the boots is, I did if everybody remembers, I put a little, I shot out there if people like hikes or not. 75% yes, 25% no.
Yep.
And some of the comments that came back were they were stiff, snow boot, bigger boot. I have a few guys that work with me that have them. They're like, yeah, I like them, but it's taken me a little bit on that. So how long does it take to break in these boots to where these boots you fall in love with? Or do you ever, do some people not and they don't give them the time? What does somebody have to kind of invest in? Like watching a new show on Netflix, 3 episodes, you're hooked. You watching one episode and
You're
leave
done.
it, you're done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good show, but you got to put in 3. What do they have to put in to love these boots?
Right. That's great. So what happens is with our boots, with the bull hide, first of all, it is stiffer. So it's going to take a little longer to break in. I've got some guys that can break it in 2 days. I've got some guys it takes a month.
Gotcha.
But there's other things to consider with our boots that people may sometimes think it feels not as comfortable. We have an orthopedic fit in all of our footwear, which cuts down on plantar fasciitis, which in fact I've had 4 people stop by today saying that they no longer have plantar fasciitis just from wearing hikes. So super important. So sometimes that rigidity doesn't feel good to some people. They're not
Yeah.
used to it, but in essence, that's what they need. When you go get custom orthotics, for example, from a podiatrist, what do you get? Hard plastic inserts that you spend $500 for, or soft, fluffy things? You get hard inserts. So these things, keep it in mind. That's why some people at first don't like the hikes. They can be like, it's just not really that soft and fluffy. I'm like, you're using a chainsaw. Do you really
Yeah.
want soft and fluffy here, or do you want something that's going to last
Yeah.
and something rugged that's protective
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yeah.
So,
So-
that could be the 25% that maybe they just can't get used to it. It's too stiff.
Now, let me ask you, chainsaw protective.
Yeah,
boots,
class
right?
2 on this.
Class
particular
2.
one.
What's the statistics out there of people that cut themselves on their foot?
In
their
the foot
boot?
area, I want to say the last I checked, and this could be wrong, so please forgive me if the stat is wrong. I'd say probably around 10% or less.
Have cut their foot in some way or some form.
Yes, because if you look at a head to toe, for
Yeah.
example, you've got the hearing protection, head protection, face eye protection.
Yeah.
Now you've got, logging pants, like chaps, things
Yeah.
like that. And they're just now getting to the footwear piece of it. Many people put their foot up and they drop a saw here. People are not thinking about that.
Yeah.
And that's where we come in
Gotcha.
and really
Gotcha.
pushing it, because there's a lot of logging boots out there that, quite frankly, have no cut protection whatsoever.
Now, where are you guys at in the market with market share on boots in the arborist field? Where do you guys rank?
Well, worldwide, we're pretty far up there. In the U.S., we really started focusing on the forestry side of our business in the U.S. market probably 6-7 years ago,
Okay.
roughly, when we really started getting a little bit more into it. So I've noticed it. It's like once somebody puts it on, they're hooked. I mean,
Gotcha.
they want the hikes as soon as they try it on.
Gotcha.
So it's up and coming more and more.
Good.
But you have to also think about the boots too in a different way, because we're bringing something a little bit different. Back in the day, people just put a big tall logger boot on with a big logging heel and called it a day, just a leather boot.
Yeah.
But things and times are changing in this industry, and things are going and gearing more towards safety each day. And so we're already ahead of the game with the hikes. So that's where we're at.
Good. What else about the company or the boot, that really stands out? Because guys, as somebody who didn't even hear about this company or hasn't proven the boot to be everything you say, and I'll be out there. I'll say I love it or I'll hate it.
I'm fine with that.
You know, I mean, somebody said to me today, I said, yeah, I got a pair from them and I'm going to be wearing it. They go, it's an office boot. I'm like, fuck you. But I'm going to test them out in the office so you guys will know. They work in the office and they also work out in the field for that. So I'm going to be testing them soon. But what other kind of things about the company and about the boot that other individuals don't know?
Well, we have been around since the 1940s. Even though it's semi-related to this, we are the largest fire boot manufacturer in the world.
What kind of?
Fire boot manufacturer.
Okay.
So sometimes the forestry crosses over with wildland.
If you live in California.
On the daily.
If you live in California, firefighters and tree individuals, professionals are side by side working together every day.
Ask any firefighter who we are and they'll tell you.
Gotcha.
That's all you have to do. And
I'm actually the Academy. One thing you'll have to do with us, I would love for this to happen with Hikes, is and maybe sponsor and be a part of this venture that we're doing. But we're going to be training every fire department in Northern California, having free courses for them of hands-on and getting them aerial rescue certified. I'm going to be working with manufacturers and companies like Cheryl, who's going to donate climbing gear. And Cheryl, you don't know about this yet, but it's coming and I already committed you. But giving a full setup, climbing gear, spikes, everything a fire department's going to need for an aerial rescue. Because as soon as something happens out there in our profession, the first people that we're dealing with, the first professionals are the firefighters that are arriving usually first to the scene. And if they don't know and they are not skilled to be able to do this and do an aerial rescue, they have to call their special unit in Alameda, which is another 2 hours to get to you.
Many times.
And you've been up there. So we're doing a full training. It's absolutely free. It costs nothing for the fire departments. And we're going to be doing aerial rescue training and certifications for all Northern California of every fire department out there.
Well, you need to get in touch with. Let's stay in touch after this.
All right.
For sure. And I would definitely love to be a part of that.
That'd be awesome.
And we've got the perfect boot for that as well.
That'd be awesome, especially if they're already wearing your boots out there.
Yeah,
right?
but this is something special for air rescue.
Yeah.
So we can definitely talk about that at another time.
Awesome.
That would be great.
So hearing about your company and yourself, you know, there's the people that listen to this podcast. I always like, what's your nugget? What's your wisdom, your tip from the top of being in this industry, working with our field, or just life in general that you can share with somebody to, who knows what they're going through today, or something that can help them?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I try to be and try to do in business and in personal life is to be present, to be here in the moment, listen. And really listen to people when they talk to you. Don't listen to try to make an answer back. Listen to them. Take it in. Digest what they're saying, whether it be they're asking for help, assistance, looking for something. And listen to the problem that they have. You may have a solution in a boot. You may have a solution for them. Hey, I got a friend that can help you with this. You know, just always listen with your heart and give them that moment. Because you may be the only person that can give that to them.
That was good. That was the best one yet. That's awesome.
Is it good?
That was good. That is. Be in the moment, guys. That's listening to this. You know, you're gonna come encounter with some people today. You know, listen to them. Don't just think of an answer.
Them.
Yeah, listen to them. You never know what somebody's going through right now.
That's absolutely right.
Never know. They may have a smile on their face, but they're sad in their heart for that. So give back, live in the moment. But Tracy, I appreciate you being on the show today. The One Tree Guy and One Tree Gal. I think that's the new show and what it's called. But everybody, if you guys haven't tried out Hikes, I'm trying them out. I'm going to test them out and see if it's a great product or I hate it. And if I hate it, I will let you know that I hate it. But other people might love it. But if I love it, I'll let you know I love it. Always going to keep it real here on Two Tree Guys. But appreciate everybody. You guys have a great day today, and we love you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.